Jim, back to winning ways here at Tannadice with a hard-fought victory. How do you assess that 90 minutes?
I think it was important that we took maximum points from this afternoon's game. Delighted, obviously, with us getting the goal in the end. It was getting a little bit frustrating for everybody. I thought we started the game really bright. We're causing them a lot of problems in the wide areas, particularly on Glenn Middleton's side, putting really good deliveries into the box. The only criticism might be the movement within there. I felt we could have gambled a little bit more across that near post at times. We spoke about that at half time, and I felt we'd done a little bit better in those situations in the second half. I think after about maybe 20-25 minutes where we were in control, then the game became a little bit scrappy in the middle of the first half, and then it kind of petered out into a 0-0 at half time. But I couldn't fault the performance of the players. I just wanted us to tidy things up a little bit in the second half, and I think for the majority of that second half we were in complete control. Ayr United hit us on the counter-attack a couple of times, but nothing that came to any real dangerous opportunities. We played our way into trouble once, I think, with just a sloppy pass, and the pitch being a little bit slow in the passing. I think maybe caught one or two of us out at times today. But all in all, I'm pleased with what the players gave in terms of their effort. I would like us to tidy it up a little bit at the top end of the pitch. I thought we got into some really good areas at times. Just that's something that we'll continue to work on during the week in training, and continue to try and improve when we get into those dangerous areas in the opposition penalty box, and just make better decisions at those key moments. But look, today was all about the 3 points. Sometimes there's games where the result is more important than the performance, and today was probably one of those afternoons.
Given the fact it has been 2 weeks without a game, the players didn't really show any sign of rustiness, especially at the start. We were carving out a few really good opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, look, the boys were excited about being back here at Tannadice. I think the last home game was around about the 4th of November, so it's been 6 weeks nearly. I've not been able to play at our home stadium. The boys love coming here on a match day. They love the atmosphere that the supporters generate. The pitch is always in great condition. The ground staff deserve a lot of credit for that. But the weather wasn't ideal for anyone. The rain never stopped pelting down all afternoon, and the pitch did become a little bit heavy as the game went on. But we'd all have preferred a more comfortable afternoon in terms of a 2 or a 3-0. But we'll take those 1-0s all day long. If that's what it takes to get maximum points, then we've got to be satisfied with that. But defensively, I thought we were excellent all afternoon. I thought the structure and the shape of the team out of possession was excellent. As I said, Ayr United never really troubled the goal all that much, apart from a couple of mistakes that we made ourselves. And yeah, I think we've all got to be satisfied with that. We're still unbeaten in the league. I think that's 14 games unbeaten, only conceded 6, scored in excess of 30, and back where we want to be, which is top of the table.
Been leaking a few goals in those cup games, so you must be equally pleased that we've managed to keep our first clean sheet in a few weeks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, the players as a whole, it's not just, as I've said before, it's not just about the goalkeeper and the back four in terms of keeping clean sheets. There's a hell of a lot of effort that goes in from the forward players to try and put the opposition under pressure so that they can't pick simple passes, and we take full responsibility for that as a group defensively. And conceding 6 goals in 14 games against some really tough opposition is a great return as far as we're concerned. And yes, the goals that we conceded in those cup games, extremely disappointing, not like us all season. But we're back at it today, started the game in the right mindset, good tempo, good urgency, and finished the game very strongly, which shows you the energy levels and the fitness levels of the players.
It was another goal contribution for Kai following, maybe not as dazzling as some of his other strikes, but he's a difference maker again. Did you envisage him having the season that he's had in the summer?
Yeah, I mean, we always did. I mean, I think he's a player with great potential, and we had big plans for him at the start of the season. We spoke to him in the summer and pre-season about him trying to put down a marker in the team, not to be satisfied with being a bit part player. Sometimes with these younger players, you can use them more as impact players coming off the bench for the last 20-25 minutes. But Kai has really got the bit between his teeth at the moment. His all-round contribution. Of course, people will look at the goals and look at the assists that he's had. I think that's 10 now for the season goals-wise. But his overall work rate and attitude for the team when we don't have possession of the ball, his energy levels are incredible. So he's a really good example to some of the younger players that are, starting to push their way from the academy into the first team. He's a good one for those guys to look at, and that's what it takes to get into my first team. They're the kind of attributes that you need to have, and we're delighted for Kai, but we can't allow him to get too carried away and get too far ahead of himself either. He's worked extremely hard. He's one of the best young professionals that we have at the club in terms of staying out later after the players have gone in. He's always out practicing on his weaknesses and trying to improve, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. So delighted that he popped up with the all-important goal today. He deserves a huge pat on the back for that.
First time since August that we've actually gone into a game in second place, so did that put any added pressure on the group? I know the focus is always internal, but that must be something that was considered.
Yeah, listen, we're not focusing on anybody else. Raith Rovers are having a really good season, and full credit to Ian Murray and his players. They've built a really good squad of experienced players that know how to win games of football. But I'm not bothered about the result last night. There's none of us turning up here this afternoon anxious and nervous about, if we don't win the game today, we're second in the table. The players have been exceptional. As I said, 14 games unbeaten. We can only control what we can control. What Raith Rovers or any other team in the league do, then good luck to them. Our main focus is on doing the best that we can do. We've got a lot of faith and a lot of belief in this group of players. And if we can perform to the level that we have performed at up to now, consistently from now till the end of the season, then we're going to be right up there. There's no doubt about it.
Set up nicely for next week as well.
Yeah, a great game to look forward to. I said that to the players in the build up to the game. I want them to embrace this title challenge with Raith Rovers. To actually enjoy it and be excited by it, and not to be nervous and not to be anxious about anything at all. And I want the supporters to feel that as well. Of course we know what the objective is this season. It is to get promoted, but let's be positive about it. Raith are having a good season. That should keep us where we need to be mentally and psychologically, and that's got to drive you on, and we want to use that as motivation. But as I said to you, the main focus for us is on our players, on our staff, on our team, what we can control, and if we do that, then we'll be okay.